This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
Matt, love that interview with Jim Adams. Equity Protect. I can't believe it's free. Like, people are charging money for that.
Absolutely. I love that he has established a company that is out to serve and help, especially seniors. Seniors so often get taken advantage of in our communities.
Absolutely.
Because they're not privy to all the technology and ways that they can get scammed. My dad has been a victim of those type of scams himself.
Man.
And so there's so many seniors that get preyed upon. And so it's great that a company like Equity Protect is out there trying to help home buyers be aware of scammers that are out there like this. So good on him.
Jim reminded me of a friend. I have this friend, and he has this phrase, relatively young guy, just turned 40 last year. Mm-hmm. And he has this phrase. He's like, Johnny, I have solved for money. My family is set. We don't need more money. But what I'm looking for now is meaning. I'm looking, and that's kind of what Jim sounds like. What Jim is doing with Equity Protect, like he is solving for meaning in the industry, like helping change people's life, helping change the industry in a positive way, and it's just really cool. Really cool
it's cool to be in a place like that where you can actually use the blessings that God's given you to actually make an impact. I mean, I think we all want to be in that place. It's hard. Yeah. It's tough. It's not easy. You know, you're very fortunate if you can get into that place. I mean, we all can, I think, in different levels.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily take money.
Right, correct. Yeah. But to have a tremendous impact on a, nationwide, if not global scale with what he's doing is pretty incredible.
So that same friend, Valerie and I were out to dinner with him and his wife recently, and just super generous. Valerie and I were celebrating something. We hit a milestone in our business, and so we were celebrating that. It was actually, so realtors, if you're listening, or anybody, just in general, what my friend told me, he's like, Johnny, too often, like, people breeze over or, don't pay attention to the wins. They're hyper-focused on the losses. Like, what could I have done better? This is going bad in my business. I need to fix this. This is going bad in life. I need to improve that. He's like, but all too often, people do not focus on the wins. He's like, you hit a major milestone in your business. You and Valerie need to celebrate. What are you going to do? And so Valerie and I decided to, go out to dinner. And so, because it was his idea, I reached out to him and was like, Valerie's like, let's invite them. It was their idea. This is great. Let's all just do it together. And so we invited them, and super generous. I was telling my mom about it today. He brought 2 bottles of wine. He's like, I'm going to bring a nice bottle of wine. So to me, like, a nice bottle of wine is like, I don't know, not that nice. I'm not like, really into all that. But he showed up with a 1983 Riesling. And then he showed up with a...
Where'd you guys go to eat?
Fleming's in Roseville.
Oh, okay.
So we went to a steakhouse in Roseville. Horrible name for a steakhouse, like Fleming, like it's F-L-E, like not P-H.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, Fleming's. And just watching the guy, like, try to open the bottle. Like, they have this special...
The server?
The server, yeah. Well, it was they had to get I think it was the bar manager. They didn't have I can't pronounce it correctly, sommelier? Everybody called them Psalms. I can say Psalm, but they didn't have a Psalm, so they had this guy do it, and it was the oldest bottles of wine he has ever opened.
A 1983?
An 83 and a 1964. Yeah.
Oh, a 1964. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having a hard time opening it?
Well, because the corks fall apart,
Yeah.
And so there's a special tool. I could look it up if I remember.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's a corkscrew and like these 2 flat prongs that go down.
Right.
And so it's really cool to watch him do the process.
But he couldn't do it?
He got the 83. He got that no problem. But the 64, the cork just fell apart. So they decanted it, and ran it through a filter a couple of times. And yeah, it was fine. But and what was really cool, so not only are we like enjoying the wine, but the guy who opened the bottle, this is like something that I want to do someday, talking about being generous and just helping people. The guy who opened the wine, my friend was like, hey, here, pour yourself some, try it, right?
Oh, that's
cool. And
cool.
it just ran in server, so he got to try, 2 really
love
special
that. So who
wines.
is this guy? He sounds like a pretty awesome guy.
He's a super cool dude. Yeah, he's I don't know if he want me saying his name. So
well, what does he do?
That's a good question. So right now he helps.
Is he retired?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he has built and established his.
He had a number of businesses, and then right now he's doing like consulting on the side.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. So he's learned some good life lessons that he wants to share with other people, one of which is if you want to really enjoy your life, don't focus on all the negative, focus on the positives.
Yeah.
So that, on your journey to success, you want to learn lessons. But man, if you go through this entire journey and you reach this level of success, but you've not enjoyed it on the way, how miserable of a life is that? So I love that lesson.
I have another
Celebrate
friend,
the wins.
Celebrate the wins. And so, just very, very grateful to him for, I thought of a nice bottle of wine. I was like, what's he going to bring? Like a bottle of Camus or something,
right.
Like something everybody's heard of. I'm like, oh my gosh, 1964? That is, man, that's old. That's almost cool. As old as my parents. But yeah, to your point, celebrating the wins along the way, like too often. I have another buddy who's got some parents that are older and, moved into a home. And he's like, Johnny, like we always talk about like reminiscing about the good old days. Like you are living the good old days.
Right.
So don't wait till you're 50, 60, 80 years old to reminisce about it. Like enjoy them while you have them. So anyways, that doesn't have a whole lot to do with real estate, but it's
a good life lesson, whatever career industry you're in, to celebrate wins so that.
Or just in life, In
life, right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but as far as real estate goes, we have some exciting stuff that's happening in the wonderful world of Made for More. So if you go to madeformorerealty.com, we have these 2 eBooks that we just put on the website. They are beautiful, they are stunning, and they are chock full of information. One is the second quarter report for the El Dorado, Placer, and Sacramento County area. So if you go on there, it'll tell you how many houses are selling, what prices are doing. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? It's broken down by city. And so that is there. Tons of great info. And then we also have a neighborhood snapshot ebook. So I think there's like 20 or 22 different neighborhood snapshots. So what's the dining like? What are the schools like? What's the population? Is it renters or owners, right? What's that ratio look like? Mm-hmm. And all that is just available on madeformorerealty.com. So if you and it's free, like you don't have to sign up. You don't have to provide your email. It's just there if you're wanting to get some local information from a local source rather than a national
Yeah,
website.
absolutely. Was there anything in the information, anything in the report that you were surprised about or you thought that was interesting, maybe that you didn't know when you published these?
So, what was surprising about it was just how many. So, for example, we have a house in Citrus Heights right now. I think it's currently listed right around $1 million. But if you go into this report, here, I don't know if you can hear me flipping through, but if you go into the report, there have been no sales, at least not the last quarter.
What zip code is that home in? 95622, 95621?
Let me look it up.
I'm just trying to think of neighborhoods in Citrus Heights that are selling homes for $1 million.
It's a super
renovated.
Well, it's a neighborhood within a neighborhood. So there's only 4 or 5 houses in this little neighborhood. It's out behind everything. It backs up to a green belt.
Okay.
And 95610. But it's 664 Chalice Court. And he's asking $1 million. If we're able to pull it off, then that would be the first sale, at least in the recent quarter, to clear $1 million. So that stood out to me. And it was interesting. Like you can just flip through it and you can see, hey, is it a slight seller's advantage or is it a strong seller's advantage? So in Citrus Heights, there's a strong seller's advantage, right? 158 homes sold in the last quarter in that city. Strong sellers, so it's definitely a seller's market. Whereas you flip it over to El Dorado Hills, this is organized alphabetically.
Why is Citrus Heights more of a seller's market? Because I've heard you talk for weeks now that we have shifted into a buyer's market in this area. But why Citrus Heights is more of a seller's market?
So it comes down to price point and demand. So if you're in a more affordable price point, there's more people that can afford that. And even with inventory on the rise, it's still...
So Citrus Heights does not have as much inventory, but yet their homes are much more affordable, so there's more of a demand.
Yeah, there's more demand. It's classic supply and demand is what drives it. Whereas like El Dorado Hills, they had 16 houses that sold for over $1 million, 9 that sold for 2 to 3, and 5 houses that sold between 3 and 5 million in the last quarter. But it's a slight seller's advantage in El Dorado Hills. So if you're curious, like, hey, am I in a buyer's market, seller's market? Most of these were still trending slight sellers, like it's just barely hanging on. So we'll see what next quarter looks like when the numbers come out. But that was probably my biggest takeaway was, is it a seller's market or buyer's market?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all that's available on madeformorerealty.com. But talking about, we talked about Chalice Court. By the way, that is probably one of the more unique houses we've ever listed. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house.
Tell me the address again.
Chalice, 6604 Chalice Court in Citrus Heights. And what's unique about it is the guy built it for his wife, and she was a dance teacher.
Oh, you've talked about this home before. It's got this huge space upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember you talking about
huge
this.
Dance studio. And so you could pad split it. You could turn it into additional rooms. You could turn it into its own, like an Airbnb type of a thing. It has a private entrance.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, it just surprised me that not one house last quarter sold for over $1 million in Citrus Heights.
Well, that's not surprising to me because we just talked about how it's homes in this area that are more affordable, and that's why it's more of a seller's market.
It just seems like more and more homes are getting up there.
Yeah.
$1 million home is not what,
But in Citrus Heights?
No.
If it was a gated community or in a certain neighborhood, like even this home, I bet you it's like I'm looking at it, I doubt there's any other homes in this general area that are $1 million.
There's 4. There's probably 4 right on that street.
Right on that street. But this looks like, as far as a lot size, it's way larger.
Oh, it's huge.
3, 4, 5 times larger than all the other lot sizes, right?
Yeah, it's 1.2 acres.
And it looks like all of these homes that back up to this specific green belt have tremendous, backyards and.
Yeah, it's its own community in a community.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
But yeah, stunning. And then, but the more recent property Valerie and I listed, this is, I'm a view guy. Like if it has good views, I am all about it.
Okay.
And this property, 3235 Rustic Woods Court in Loomis, is stunning. Like views for days.
Really?
Views, and sometimes views mean less privacy, right? Like people could see into your living space. But this is very private, but you still have the views.
Yeah.
And anyways, it's a beautiful home.
How many square feet?
That one's 2758.
Okay.
So the main issues we're running into with this one is it does have a long driveway, right? So as a long driveway, people are like, well, I don't want to have to walk.
How long of a driveway?
I don't know.
What do you have? What do people have issues with?
Well, it's a long driveway, so you're paying for the secluded nature.
Yeah.
But that comes with a long driveway.
Okay.
And so if you're going to put your trash down, people are like, oh, I don't want to walk down. It's like, come on, we'll get you a golf cart. Like, we'll get you a little trash cart you can drive down. But that's one thing.
You got to hold the trash down.
But the main thing is it's a 3-bedroom. So this is something that I've noticed with people who build their homes for them. They're building it for them, but they're not thinking about, hey, what's going to happen? I'm never selling this house. Well, guess what? The house is eventually going to sell. Like, whether it's you or whether it's your kids or your kids' kids, the house is eventually going to sell. And when people build it for them, they don't necessarily think about, what's going to happen in 5-10 years from now.
Right.
And so this house it's listed at 1.75, and it is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath home. And so a lot of people are like, hey, I want that 4th bedroom.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the main drawbacks on this house. But there's a dining space where you could totally enclose it. Wouldn't be very expensive. You can enclose it and have that 4th bedroom if you want.
But Loomis is just an incredible area. I think many people who live in, even if you live in Rockland, Citrus Heights, the greater Sacramento area, you don't often get the opportunity to drive out to Loomis very often, because why are you going to Loomis? Unless you know somebody who lives in that area. But we have some friends from our church who open up their home almost on a weekly basis for pool parties and stuff. And we've been driving out there almost every week, and it's beautiful. It's amazing to live in like a country setting, but yet be so close to Rockland. You know, you're just outside of Rockland, but it's almost like you exit the Rockland limits and you're in the country.
Correct.
And I think a lot of people appreciate that. A lot of people don't like the busyness, the traffic, the chaos of living, the noise pollution of living in the city per se. And Rockland and Roseville, you have to call it that. And so they want to, if possible, they'd love to live in Loomis. I'd love to live in Loomis.
Yeah,
right?
Lots of trees. Like you're just surrounded by nature. And
it's not flat.
Not flat. So that's where the views come in. This one has a pool mat. It has a pool with a swim jet. So if you want to swim against resistance, it has a swim jet. So
there you go.
Know what? You could start hosting weekly things in the Loomis. Just buy
Maybe
it for your family.
There you go.
But anyway,
it just increases my commute to the radio station by like a half an hour. So
worth it.
Yeah, worth it.
Your kids would love it.
Or I could just get an apartment right here and then spend my weekends there at the house.
Yeah.
There you go.
You got options.
Thinking about it.
But yeah, so that's 32, 35.
But it only has 3 bedrooms.
Oh my gosh, I know, but it is beautiful. It is stunning. They got this. Anyways, I won't belabor the point. You can look it up. 32, 35 rustic.
You never
woods.
get tired of those views. You can't. It's hard to find something like that.
Yeah.
A home with a view. Very rare.
Home with a view and a pool, and you're like sitting out there. Like I can just imagine chilling in the pool. It has solar heat and a Pentair heater. So.
And maybe you're retired and you only need 1 bedroom, but when the grandkids visit or something, you've got those 2 extra bedrooms.
Oh, and it's a single story.
There you go. So perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. Love it.
There you go. So, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about what's happening in the wonderful world of mortgages. They have hit its lowest rate since October of 2024. So we'll be talking about that next.
Honesty, truth, sincerity, genuineness. It's rare in our society these days, but not when you work with Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty. That's what you get, and that's what you want when it comes to selling your home. In fact, listen to this. They will give you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. That means you don't have to do any of those open houses or staging or costly home repairs. Just bam, right away, simple, easy, quick. 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. What do? Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.